guys, I'm just going to do a quick video about how I clean my Le Creuset pots and Le Creuset items. So just recently I made bread. One of the loaves of bread that I made today was a cinnamon roll bread. When that's baking, it normally leaves a lot of sticky residue, as I will show you now. So this is the inside of it, and I let it sit so I could show you the video. So I'm going to show you what and not only did it leave it in this one, but in my pie pan too. Thankfully, I put in a little bit of oil so it'll make it a lot easier to clean. So it's just really simple, should be a really quick video. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some handy dandy soap. So I'm going to put soap into this pot and into the pie pan. Okay. Now the pie pan, I'm going to do something a little different. For the pot, I'm going to add some water. And I'm going to bring the water up to this area here because this is kind of baked on too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this on the stove. I'm going to turn it on probably about a low setting and allow the water, the heat and the water to boil. Not boil too much, but I'm going to allow the heat generated by the water to lift the stickiness from the pot. And that's probably I'm going to leave that for probably about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we'll come back to that. Over here on the pie plate, however, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my tea kettle and I'm going to add hot water. I'm going to let the water boil in my tea kettle and then I'm going to pour that water in here. So now I'm going to let this sit on the stove for about 3 to 5 minutes and allow the water to really heat up and boil all of the stickiness out to make it easier for me to just clean. By the way, just FYI, you want to be around because you put soap in it. When it starts to get really hot, that soap will start bubbling and perhaps coming out of your pot, so hang around while you're waiting for it. Now that it's come to a rolling boil, now I'm going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to let it sit for like a minute or two because this water is really hot, and then I'll be ready to clean it. I'll probably use my pot holder to hold the handle because the pot itself is going to be really hot. Okay, now the tea kettle is ready. I'm just going to pour this water in. See, it already starts removing some of it. I'm going to go as far as I can. And I'm going to let that sit for probably about 3 to 5 minutes. And the water is really hot, so you want it to, in my tea kettle, I waited till it was whistling. So probably a rolling boil. And then you just pour it in and let that sit for about 5 minutes. And it should just wipe really clean. The only thing you'll probably have to fight with are the edges, but that's really simple compared to all of that. Okay, remember the pot is hot. So I'm just gonna put some soap on my little sponge here, okay? And now I'm just gonna hold the edge because the pot is still hot, and see how the stickiness just lifted out of the pot. So I'm just gonna remove all that hot water because the pan is still hot, and sure enough, it just wipes right out. The pot gets easier and easier to clean. And done. So I'm just going to let that sit for about 2 more minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, so if you just look at the pan itself, whoops, can't see. So everything just kind of melts away with the hot water. So you're going to have to use some elbow grease on the edge like I said before. But other than that, everything that was affected by the water just literally comes right up. And so there you have it, all clean, So it's just regular soap, dish soap. For the pie plate, I use the tea kettle boiling water to clean this one out, and I let it sit for about 5 to 6 minutes, especially, and if you have some really rough spots, tough spots, then let it sit for like 10 minutes. And then for the pot, that I allow to boil for 5 to 6 minutes, and they just come right clean with no harsh abrasiveness. See you guys in the next one. Bye.